Yeah, so we have MJ Mothapo. We're going to be in conversation with him in a couple of minutes' time. So just make sure that you stick around and you listen live on Connect Radio.
How you view things is how you do things. This means if I see something like this, I'm just going to do it like this. And if I don't challenge myself to get outside my comfort zone and try to do other things, try to add other adventures, nothing different is going to happen in my life. This typically means
make it count. 9 minutes past our 8. Now we made a lot of noise about it, but we will be in conversation with MJ Mothapo this morning right here on Connect Breakfast. So are you ready, Hunadi?
I am so ready, man. I can't wait. It is a Monday. A lot of people
Of course.
People are disappointed. A lot of things happen during the weekend. All of that. So I'm so happy because we have a motivational speaker who's going to be taking us
through the journey,
yeah,
making us, so you know what, we have a productive week, we are on another level. So without wasting any time, let's welcome MJ Mothapo. Welcome to Connect Radio.
thank you so much.
Are you good? Are you good?
I'm good. Thanks.
I'm meeting you for the first time, but I'm a big fan of your work. I've been following what you do, watching what you do, and it's so nice to have you in the studio.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
beautiful.
Welcome. So, just take us through your journey. Who's MJ Mothapo to those who hear about you for the first time?
MJ Mothapo is typically I'm a keynote speaker.
Yes.
So I came into this industry
Yes.
of inspiration, motivation,
Yeah.
mainly because I've realized that there's too much gap
Yeah.
between how we as individuals perceive life as we see it and versus the reality of life. I feel like we've never been taught the basic principles of life in terms of how should we navigate life as it is, because you can go to school, you can go anywhere, they will teach you about mathematics, physics and everything, but they will never teach us the reality of life. I feel like they don't prepare us for the reality of life. So this is where I've seen it to say, okay, I think I've got a light, I think I can see something here, I think I've got an idea. Then I practically went into I digged, I researched, I went straight into this kind of lifestyle, and I've realized that, okay, there's so much gap that I feel like I've got this, at least a gift that I can bridge. I can give people some light that, okay, this is how life it is, and this is how life we are living it. Then from where I'm standing, I would say things like, when we go through failures in life, we think that these things are not supposed to happen to us, so we don't know how to react from these things. Or sometimes they are supposed to happen. Life has both ups and downs, and it's just what it is. That's the reality of life. We aren't supposed to fight it back, but we're just supposed to find a way in which we can adjust and live through those kind of challenges. Because sometimes when we go through failures or life throws us into the deep, it's not that the universe is throwing us into the deep, but the universe is just trying to tell us that, okay, maybe you need to adjust here, you need to fix there, you need to change your circle of people, you need to do this. It's trying to speak to us in different kind of ways. This is where I'm coming in to say, okay, maybe I can give light in terms of this kind of things, because you can hardly go anywhere where you are taught this kind of things. So maybe with my life, my information, my knowledge, whatever that I've learned, whatever that I've read and experienced, I can come and bridge this gap between life.
Wow.
I love motivational speakers, because one question
goes
he
on and on and on.
Everything. Like you have taken us through the journey, and I'm like, okay, we are done with the interview now, MJ.
Wow. You said mouthful. Said mouthful. So you spoke a lot about life and how you see life and how you have seen things, and some of them, they're obviously based on your personal journey, personal experiences and all that. So this motivation speaking, when did it start? Was it something that started at high school level? Was it something that started where?
I've always had it in me, but
Yeah.
you know, like I said, because we are not taught some gifts we have, but we don't just know what it means. You know? I just never had a mentor. I just never had someone to groom me to tell me that okay, you've got this thing.
Yeah.
I just had to navigate it and figure it out myself because I think I went to school. I did a different course. I didn't do this at school. This is a self-development thing.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
but I always felt in me that this thing for me to help people, to guide people, to show people a way to try to clarify life to other people and to myself as well. You know,
Yeah.
it was just this thing in me, which was basically a passion, but I didn't know by then. You know, because it took me from one journey to another. You know, I went into this thing. I think I've tried a number of things. You know, I thought at first it was psychology. Then I went into psychology, but I realized that no, it's not psychology, but it's somewhere among those lines. You know,
Yeah.
I went again into this. I went into this. Finally, I found this thing called life coaching. Then I knew immediately that okay, this is the thing that I'm looking for. And immediately I dived into that thing. So I explored and then I ventured into this career. So this is how I arrived into it.
Beautiful, man. I get ready to do this exactly 15 minutes after 8. This is the second hour of the show, Connect Breakfast. We are on www.connectradio.co.za. You can also catch the live interview on his personal account. That is MJ Mothapo on Facebook, right?
Yes, correct.
MJ Mothapo, we are live so that you can see him in person. So I just want to know it's not easy, especially for us Africans, to realize our talent, or should I say skill or a gift. Yeah, a speaker or a motivational speaker or that.
Yeah.
So what really happened to you, or just realize that actually I have this gift?
Okay. Yeah, it's true. It's not easy. It's not easy because, like I said, we have never been taught. You know, we've never been taught anything that it's difficult for us to navigate that. Like I said, even with me, I just had to, you know, try one thing and jump to the next thing. It's more like troubleshooting and trying out a lot of different things, you know. But I think the core things that has to guide you is your interest. Your career and your passion and your purpose has to be aligned. They've got to be the same thing. So for me, it was desires, it was interest. I felt a need, I felt a calling that, okay, maybe I need to do this, even though I was not certain by then. But I followed that interest, I followed that desire, and I cultivated it because this is where typically it starts with your career. It has to be the desire, and then what you need to do is take that desire, cultivate it into something that it can be a passion. Passion being that thing that you love to do, that thing that you wouldn't mind doing it for free, doing it from 8 to 5, all those kind of things. You know, so for me, it had nothing to do with money, but this love that I feel, this need that I feel to close the gap, you know, this clarity, this knowledge, this information that I feel, to cultivate it and to make it a passion. So yeah, this way started.
Wow. We are being fed this morning right here on Connect Breakfast. You might be streaming live on our website, which is www.connectradio.co.za. Get yourself the app on Google Play and, of course, App Store. We do have MJ Mothapo in the studio. He's just basically taking us through his journey as a motivational speaker. Now, as Connect Radio, man, we are a youth-orientated platform, and I believe there's quite a lot of young people that are going through a lot, whether being education-wise, others are looking for jobs, others are just going through lots and lots of stuff for self-discovery and stuff like that. And I believe we're going to be speaking directly to that audience in terms of trying to get them out of their comfort zones and also just trying to find solutions to some of the problems that they are facing. So do stick around right here on Connect Radio. Our conversations will be continuing.
Right now, it is 21 minutes after 8. Good morning and thank you so much for tuning in. We are on www.connectradio.co.za. For all your fans and supporters, MJ, please, I apologize, they can't see me because of social distancing. Because of social distancing, I'm in the corner. They can't see me. But then I'm loving the conversation. I can see that a lot of people are actually loving it. So, like, since Tibsani has asked already, we are youth orientated. So what can you say to somebody who's listening now and has that gift, but then they fear or about what ring?
Yeah, okay. So for someone who already knows what they need to do with their lives, but they're just afraid, well, I think it's a syndrome. that we as youth has developed to say that I'm not going to do this, or I'm afraid to do this because of the fear of judgment. It's the fear of judgment basically that is holding us back, because the truth of the matter is that it's not everyone who's lost who doesn't know what to do. There are people who know what they need to do with their lives. There are people who already know that I've started something that doesn't belong to you. It doesn't belong to me, because some of the things you discover them halfway through. You've already invested in this thing.
Yeah.
You know, take it from relationship, career, everywhere. You know,
Yeah.
realize things at a later stage, because we've never been taught to do it the right way. Just had to figure it out. The only time we've learned this is through our mistakes. But because of the fear of judgment, we are afraid to say, okay, if I turn right now, if I make a U-turn, I think I will be judged. I feel like I will be judged, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like people will criticize me. What are you doing at school at this age? You know, what are you doing? You know, you've already invested so much, all these kind of things. But what I would say to you is that there isn't a difference whether you're going to not do it because people are going to judge you, or whether you're going to do it because at the end of the day, if you do not do it, look at yourself and reflect 5, 10, 15 years. To say that, okay, I didn't do that thing because I was afraid of people's judgment.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's just talk about something that maybe a lot of young people struggle with, comfort zone. Which is a huge challenge that a lot of people are facing. A lot of young people are going through that. Let's just dwell more on that one.
So, in regards to comfort zone, so firstly, I would say, most of the time, everything that you want and do not have, it's not in your comfort zone. It is outside your comfort zone. It's on the other side of fear. Because if it was in my comfort zone, which is where we are spending so much time with, this means I would have accumulated all those things. But now it's clear. This is the answer. This is the result, that I don't have those things. They are not where I am. They're on the other side of zone, which is your discomfort zone. So, but if I may clarify a little bit or define what is a comfort zone, so that we can just know what we are talking about, you know, so that I'm certain that I'm not technical. So, comfort zone, in a basic familiar terms, is just, you know, doing the things that you already know how to do, doing the things that you are used to doing the things that you already know how to do, you know, going to the same places, speaking to the same people, doing the same routines, same behavior. You know, there's nothing new in your life. It's just the same you, same pattern, same old you, same thinking, same belief. There's nothing new that you are adding into your space, you know. And I don't think that's the right way to go through life, because you know, it becomes boring at some point, because you're not taking into anything new. So you already know what's going to happen next. You already know what to expect. You don't want to take any risk, any kind of this thing. You just want to do things that you already know how to do. And you know, the latest research of psychology already has proven that 90% of the thoughts that we think are the same with yesterday. You know, so how I'm thinking today, 90% of it is the same as yesterday, last year, previously. So, and then if this is how I'm going to think, this means this is how I'm going to do things throughout my life, because I'm not changing anything. I just prefer to do things the way I already know them. And how you do things is how you view things is how you do things. This means if I see something like this, I'm just going to do it like this. And if I don't challenge myself to get outside my comfort zone and try to do other things, try to add other adventures, nothing different is going to happen in my life, you know. This typically means that we shouldn't spend so much time in our comfort zone, but we should allow ourselves to go and find some residency in our discomfort zone, because typically this is where growth happens. You know, most growth happens in our discomfort zone. And discomfort zone basically being the opposite of comfort zone. Discomfort zone, it's you know, trying out new things, exploring new adventures, meeting new people, exploring and exploiting into new careers, trying out different things, because we don't really know what works for us. Sometimes you just need to go and try this thing out, do something differently, go to work and try to approach things differently, you know. Try to add new features into your business ideas or the business that you are running. This is the differentiated makeup between successful people and unsuccessful people. Because successful people, they want comfort. where there's no growth in comfort. The only growth that you have, it's in your discomfort zone. So successful people spend most of the time there because they are those finding new ways to do this, silly new deals, creating new adventures. Trying to find not necessarily to say all the time you need to go and do something new, but sometimes it's trying to find the new in the old. That thing that you have been doing, just try to approach it differently. Add something into it. This allows us to grow because what we are really speaking about when we say growth is we are learning, we are doing something new, we are putting something that we've never done before. We are practically trying to adventure into new things. This involves taking risk in your business, which we know very well that a lot of people do not want to take risk in their life, in their business, in whatever thing that they are doing, because most people want certainty all the time, which is not how the risk works. Risk, we don't know what's going to be the outcome. The moment you take risk, we don't know what to expect. We don't know what's going to come. There's no guarantee. There's no answer. You are just typically throwing yourself into the unknown. We don't know what to expect. But the good news is that this is where growth is. We find growth in taking risk because Nelson Mandela said in life you don't win or you don't lose. You either win or learn. So if you take a risk, if it doesn't work out, you have learned something. You can always go back again and try it and approach it differently because that's the value of failure. Failure, it's not to hold us back, but the value of failure is to let us or to teach us something new that we didn't know before, so that we can go back and approach it differently in that space, in that angle.
Wow. Okay, we are live and direct. We are in conversation with MJ Mothapo right here on Connect Radio. And I see a couple of people showing us some love on Facebook, the likes of Chirelejo Mwakadze Mahoka saying we are listening. Bachana.
That should be your angel.
So it's
or
going
Rakadi. It's either angel or Rakadi.
Yeah, so it is going down. So we will continue with the conversation.
Yeah.
We just going to dwell more on the issue of self-love and also just touching base, man, on the issue of, a lot of people, we are going through tough times right now in terms of COVID. I mean, it has affected us badly.
Yes.
And now there's a lot of fear and all those things. So how do we regain, the confidence, especially in terms of being very much confident about the future or in terms of what's going to happen tomorrow?
Yeah.
Because Kebushari is very much important. Everyone is on like, hey, we don't know what tomorrow, what's going to happen and all those. But just stick around. Right here on Connect Radio, we will continue with the conversation. We do have MJ Mothapo in the studio. So go and tell others to tune in, to stream live on our website, which is www.connectradio.co.za. Alternatively, you can watch us live on Facebook. That's on his page, MJ Mothapo. And of course, I've shared it on mine as well. That's Doc Tebsen. Let's enjoy DJ Clock. The song is called Do I Qualify? We're coming back. Okay. Are we coming along? I don't wanna feel like I'm at your space.
No, you're in my lane.
Did I qualify? Did I qualify? Yeah, we do.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, so what?
Yeah, because of COVID, you can't see me, guys. You cannot see me because of COVID, guys.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, so let's go because I don't wanna.
I think maybe if we can just touch base already, relationships, people are suffering a lot.
Okay.
Business, pandemic. Yeah.
Why is it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Why did? Oh.
It's a beautiful one. It's a brand new one by a DJ Clog featuring Han C. Marishi, it is such a lovely song. One of my 2021 favorites. It is called Do I Qualify on Connect Breakfast. We are coming to you live on www.connectradio.co.za. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have made a promise that we're going to be having a motivational speaker who is educating. One thing that I have learned from MJ so far, dog, is the fact that is to accept the situation.
Yeah.
We must learn to accept the situation because the more you keep saying, why me?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why me?
Quite a good one. Let me see on Facebook. Let me give a big shout out to Prudence Lee Maduwane saying, what a way to start my morning. And also Kujo Madira saying, Ayeye, Danko Dololo, keep spitting those bars, butterfly us. We are your meat.
No, but
And then Kuzo Madira saying, you know what, I'm proud. And also DJ Couch saying solid stuff. Lovely stuff.
Beautiful, man.
So we will still continue our conversation with MJ Mothapo right here on Connect Radio. So we touched base on the issue of now how COVID has really affected people in terms of some people have lost jobs, some people have lost loved ones. So how do we talk to that someone who lost hope?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So indeed, COVID-19 has affected us so much, so deeply. But what can we do? This is the situation that is outside our control. The only thing that we need to focus on is us as individuals. What can we control? You know, what can we do? How can we move forward? How can we accept the situation? So, firstly, what we could do is just to acknowledge the situation that it happened. This is what it is. But I think COVID-19 has both upset both sides, which is the up and the downside.
Of course.
Which we should focus more on the upside, you know, because on the downside, I think it has already taught us a lot of things. I mean, if it wasn't about COVID-19, a lot of things wouldn't have been improved, wouldn't have been exposed for us so that we can learn through them. Like, if it wasn't about COVID-19, digital learning would never have been implemented. You know, hospitals would never have been prioritized. You know, new readventures would never have been came. You know, so what it did basically, it has exposed us, and it has exposed our weaknesses. It has exposed all the things that we need to do, but we were not looking at. You know. So I think the proper way to look at it is to say, how can we adapt to the situation that we are in right now? Because this has clearly showed us that the future is going into digital world, you know. Which again takes us outside our comfort zone. We are not used to the digital world, you know. But then we need to adjust. We need to adapt. So that's I think one of the big challenges that as human beings we are facing. We don't want to adapt to new things. We don't want to leave our comfort zone. So, but then unfortunately, there's no other way. We need to adapt and see how can I go digital. If I'm running a business, then I need to know how can I go, you know, how can I add more services of digital, how can I add more digital services to my business, you know, how can I meet people halfway, you know, how can I still run, how can I still continue running my business, you know, without it being compromised that much, because right now we are in the digital world, you know, so you need to adjust, you need to adapt to this new reality. This is the new normal. We cannot wait and say I'm waiting for things to come back to normal. We don't know when things are coming back to normal.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. So in a nutshell, people just have to, you know, adjust to this new change, to this new normal. Get used to it. Things will never be the same.
No.
Because I think that is more like a bit of a setback for quite a lot of people, where people are saying, I'm just waiting when things are going to be normal, when this COVID thing will be over. But, I mean, coming to think of it, I mean, it's almost a year now and nothing has changed.
Talk about digital things. I was at McDonald's this past weekend. Hey, those robots. Those robots, like, you can just see, you can see all people are not comfortable. Baro manager or go do it, and we just have to adapt in the factory. So I love the fact that you're also showing what we have to accept or the factory issue. Comfort zone, and all of those things. So still on COVID is here. A lot of people, they have lost their girlfriends, their husbands, their wives, their partners due to the loss of this bani. What can you say to somebody who is watching now, somebody who is at home listening, and they are normal in their relationships, or they are not happy because in their relationships or in their marriages, and
So I think, so for me, in all tragedies that we go through in life, you know, the best thing is to always try to look at the positive side and what is this thing trying to teach me. I mean, yes, we are going to cry, we are going to be disappointed, But clearly, this means that there was some kind of weakness, there was some kind of lack of emotional strength that you lacked, there was some kind of something. So the first thing that you can do, without trying to dwell much and cry much, we will cry, but we need to cry and finish and see what was the lesson here, what can I learn, what can I take, how can I move forward,
Exactly.
Why did that relationship end, because the truth of the matter, it's not, relationship cannot end because of the pandemic. It was,
of course.
Yeah, the both of you, there's something that lacked. The pandemic has just exposed that thing. That now you couldn't handle it. But instead of dwelling, you can take that thing that was exposed, whether you're going to fix things or you're going to move on, because we need to move on. We cannot sit and cry the whole day, the whole year. You take that, whatever lesson that you've learned, go into the other relationship, implement that thing that you think you lacked, practice new behaviors into your new relationship or into your new job, But for people who lost their jobs, I wouldn't say, like I'm saying, we are going into digital, and if you can literally see right now what's going on. It's that digital, you don't necessarily have to go around, You can sit home, you can learn how this digital world works, and you can try to create something for yourself. If you still want to market, it's fine, but don't just sit and market, Try to adjust and adapt, How can I create something for myself, something that I've always wanted to do? Maybe this is also an opportunity for us to, do those things that we always wanted to do, but we were afraid to do because of judgment or because of I'm committed to this job. But now that there's no job, there's nothing, it's just you, the digital world, everything's free these days. The world has evolved in a way that it has never been this way before. So there's no excuse for anything. If you want to learn anything, you go to YouTube, it's free. Enroll into the University of YouTube, learn all that you need to learn, and then get that thing that it could be your passion, your idea, anything that you always wanted to do. Go implement that thing. Yes, it's for the first time, you're going to fail. That's everything that you do for the first time is not a good time, it's a difficult time. It's not going to be easy. You're just going to not master everything. You're not going to be an expert in one day. So be patient with yourself and go to that thing and implement that thing that you've always wanted to do with your life, and everything will show up in the end.
Wow.
There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. You've said mouthful. I mean, there's quite a lot that we can go on and on about this morning. But I just want to take this moment and thank you so much for sharing such valuable information. And I believe, let's just also make it a promise to quite a lot of people that are watching us there on the Facebook Live. Or this is not for the last time, I believe.
It's a first. There's more to come. Stay with us, guys.
Yeah, so there's more to come. So what's your last remarks? I mean, to everyone who's just watching us on the Facebook Live, to everyone who's listening live at home, what would be your last remarks, especially given the fact, I mean, it is the first day of the week. We regard Monday as the first day of the week. So to make sure that we all have a rejuvenated week, we are all productive and all that, what would be your words?
Yeah, so my words typically would just say, anything in life that you want to do, you just go for it. I know the core factor that is holding us back is fear most of the time. It's fear. Fear has killed more dreams than anything has ever did. But fear shouldn't. I think we firstly just need to understand what is fear and how it works, so that when it comes, we can try to see how can I work through it. Fear.
Exactly.
Sometimes you cannot eliminate fear. It's there.
Yes.
And you cannot push it away. But the best thing to do is just to listen to that fear, take it, and do it with fear. Even when you feel like you are afraid, you are scared, people are going to judge you, do it even when you are afraid. Sometimes the fastest way out of fear is through it. You do it with fear, and stop sitting down and overthinking and procrastinating, and because this is where fear holds you. Fear has a grasp over you when you are sitting and doing nothing. But when you move, when you take action, fear will lose a grasp over you. So yeah, that's something that I would say.
Wow.
Believe.
This is quite beautiful. And social media, how do they get in touch with you and all that?
Okay, so all platforms basically, MJ Mothapo, Facebook, MJ Mothapo, YouTube channel, MJ Mothapo, Instagram, okay, because I'm a DJ as well, so it's a red.
Oh. So DJ, make us dance out.
On the Friday.
Wow, lovely stuff. So what's the hottest tracks? What's the hottest track right now on your playlist now?
My hottest tracks, because I'm more of a soulful, deep
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say my soulful
Eish, I'm putting you on the spot, ne?
Yeah, I understand, especially with your deep house DJs. You guys get so confused. You have to think because all the songs are good.
Yeah.
You have to think which one do I choose?
Yeah, also taking that, it's deep, international stuff, social stuff, so it's not easy. But I would say, for me, it will be Marie's Race.
Yeah.
Marie's Race, everything is possible.
Yeah.
Everything is possible.
Yeah.
It's a new classic track.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm going to hear that song for the first time. You know, with deep house DJs, you learn a new, like you get a new song every day.
Yeah.
Every minute there's a new song.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, MJ, for joining us. I can see that on Facebook, people are actually happy to see you there. It's just that I can't see the comments there because of COVID, guys.
The code is social
Social distance, guys. But then I see that people are actually excited. They are so motivated, and thank you so much. You don't know how many people you have touched this morning.
Exactly.
You have said a lot of things, Chelore. Because truth hurts.
Yeah.
Truth hurts.
Yeah.
So I'm so grateful we have learned. I hope we are going to have you on a Friday on this show again because of course, guys, we must have DJ, not a motivational speaker on a Friday. We're gonna have you back as our DJ. But thank you so much. Let's go on social media on YouTube also. Let's go and subscribe.
Yes.
Let me
What's your YouTube channel, Gonje?
MJ Mothapo. Everything is just MJ Mothapo.
Oh, everything is just MJ
MJ
Mothapo.
Mothapo.
Wow, lovely stuff. Thank you so much for coming through. We really appreciate. And to those who are watching us live on Facebook Live as well, thank you so much. For now, let's do this. With Mrex, he's got a brand new song called Maravalo. Be on the lookout for that one. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks so much. So, yeah, let's just see how best we can take it forward.